Here's part two of quitting S work. So, a lot of people ask what you're supposed to do after S work. And the truth is, for me, the first decision was leaning back into influencing. Before I ever got into S work, I was actually a beauty influencer. And for a moment, I thought about starting a completely new social media page. But I was not going to lie to myself. Starting with 0 followers is extremely difficult. I already had an audience, so it made way more sense to evolve that audience rather than throw it away and start over. The first thing I did was change my content. This is honestly the hardest part, you guys, because you have to shift from the male gaze to the female gaze. But there's usually something already in your everyday life that women will enjoy watching. For me, that ended up being hair, makeup, and of course, life tips. The next step was deciding on how I wanted to monetize this. This part is different for everyone, but I always recommend looking at the resources you already have. I happen to have a few resources. For example, I am a licensed realtor and I considered hanging my license with a brokerage again. But if I'm being honest, the amount of work just did not justify the pay for me. I'm very realistic about how I like to work, and I prefer working smarter, not harder. That path might work great for someone else, but I knew it wasn't the best option for me. Because I already had a large audience, TikTok Shop made the most sense. So with Amazon, for example, I knew I'd be able to refer you guys over to my store, but the commissions are way too small. Girl, I am not working for no 3%. But over on TikTok, commissions range anywhere from 10 to 25%, so I figured that made a lot of sense. At the beginning, I could not even get approved for free samples though, so I ended up buying my own hair tools and starting from there. And it was slow, oh my god. But I stayed consistent and I studied the women who did make $50 to $100,000 a month doing it, so I knew it was possible. I paid attention to their delivery, their consistency, and their product selection. I learned their strategy while bringing my own personality into it. Eventually, I signed with a management team that really believed in me, and they started bringing me brand deals and retainer partnerships that I did not have access to before. That support gave me room to focus on building a real brand instead of just promoting anything for a quick check. Another big move for me was building in Bali. I basically created a backup life for myself, somewhere where I could legally earn income with a lower cost of living if I ever needed to adjust my lifestyle. This took me about 2 years to build, so that did not come fast, but now the property covers a big portion of my overhead. And for the people who have even more resources, followers, etc. than me, another option is buying existing businesses. If you go that route, focus on essential businesses, things like laundromats, pharmacies, restaurants, healthcare adjacent services. The biggest shift you have to make is understanding this. S work comes with a lot of instant gratification, but long term stability requires delayed gratification. Oh my God, this is already getting so long. I feel like this is going to be a series. But in closing, I will say things that actually become more stable and profitable over time, that is your real exit strategy.